Good morning. Welcome to Photo Friday number 6, I think. I don't know what he's doing. Huh? Dance around, eating his breakfast. Not quite sure what we're going to do today. We did come to Granite Falls. And this gets us nowhere. We've never been here. So I don't know what this is. We could hop the fence, but we don't want to be those people. So we're not going to. But the trail does go back the other way. I've been out Mountain Loop Highway here countless times. I've hiked everything back here multiple times, and yet I've never stopped at the falls here. Usually because I'm just too tired. I just want to go home and do nothing, clean up. So we're just kind of wandering around here. Now, what are you doing?
Eating snacks.
He's eating snacks.
I have to pee. I have a bladder infection. So sorry for me.
Way too much information. Way too much. So anyway, we're gonna wander around, see if we can get down to the river and see if there's any good shots to take. One good thing about today is that it is overcast skies. And if you're shooting any sort of water, that's what you want. Because if the sun's out, it causes the shadows to be super dark. It causes the highlights to be blown out. There's really nothing you can do about that. So, being a nice overcast day, everything's pretty muted, so it's easy to get a good photo. No blown out highlights, no black shadows, no just shiny stuff. All works out pretty good. Anything you want to add?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
He never knows anything. I don't even know why I bring him. He just like,
oh, hey, look.
he just fills up space in my screen. That's really the only reason I bring him.
I'm the sexy one.
Yeah, that's it. It's mostly to get more views. That's the only reason.
Cliff bars. Send us free Cliff bars, Cliff bar.
That's right. And OR, see, I've got your nice OR jacket on. Awesome windproof, waterproof jacket. I also have the OR Whirlwind hoodie, which is a soft shell.
Acronyms that they don't know.
OR Outdoor Research. They're a Seattle-based company that makes awesome outdoor gear.
My pantalones are outdoor research.
That's right.
I plugged them in my recent blog.
Ooh, hey, staircase. We're gonna go check out the staircase. It goes down somewhere. We'll see what it does. So we made it to Granite Falls. Like I said, I've never been here. Like countless times of coming up the Mountain Loop Highway to go backpacking or hiking or something. I've just never stopped. It's pretty cool. So that whole walkway right there, it's graded and you can see down. I don't know if this shows it very well. You can see down in there, it's the fishway. So the fish can come up through the falls here. So that's pretty cool. TJ, I don't know where he went. He went somewhere. He'll come back. He misses me when he's not around me. He gets all sad and I start to feel bad for him, but you know, that's just the way he is. So I just comfort him, make him feel better. Anyway, I'm gonna shoot this and see what we can come up with. Got some good leading lines. You can see the line just kind of follows up the river, snakes around. Unfortunately, there's that tree across there, but that's all right. Maybe I'll send TJ out to knock that down. Oh, here he comes. Look, there he is. There he is. He's coming. So anyway, we're gonna sit here for a bit and shoot and see what we can come up with. Well, hello.
I can't get close enough.
Randy's talking to me, but I'm talking to the camera. We're along the Mountain Loop Highway. It doesn't look very mountainy where we are because we're kind of in a forest. But he's teaching me and all of you about macro. So macro is literally just a fancy way of saying micro. It's a way to get super, 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 super close to your images. So when you see like the really fine close-up details, shots of flowers or bugs or snowflakes, that's a great one for this time of year. That's from a macro lens. Or in the case of Randall the robot,
I use extension tubes. So here's one tube. So I've got another tube there, and then another second tube there. So it's just a series of 3 different tubes. and it basically moves your lens out from your camera. So now your focus point shifts out as well. So in order to focus, so I have the, what is it, the 36 millimeter and the 12 millimeter on, all zoomed all the way out to 70 millimeters, infinity focus. And you can see how close I have to get it in focus.
Get right in there. You can see how close I have to get.
Yeah. And the one thing too is you lose a lot of light. So a lot of times I use what's called a ring flash. It's a little flash that attaches to the front of my lens and then attaches to your little hot shoe right there. And then you use that as your flash. You can also put a little transmitter on and hold an external flash as well. I've done that. So that's always one way. That way you can have a really fast shutter speed, so you can crank it up to like f/22 to get the maximum depth of field. Because with macro, your depth of field becomes millimeters versus like kilometers or feet or whatever.
I don't know why he's always referring to things being the metric system when he lives in America, land of the free.
Because I work in oceanography, and everything in that industry is based on kilometers, meters, all that.
He works in oceanography.
So
he talks to whales.
That's right.
Braggy McBraggerton.
So,
and it's raining.
So don't think you can just go up to macro and just take 1 or 2 shots. It takes multiple shots to get your focus.
That's what you call focus stacking.
But
that's a whole nother technique that we have not really
you can't focus stack with macro like you can with normal photos. You have to actually use what's called a macro slider. So you set your focus to infinity and you physically move your camera closer to the subject for each photo. That's how you have to focus stack. But I don't have a macro slider, so I don't do that. The reason you do that is because your focus point is so narrow that infinity focus is only like I said, a couple millimeters. And so you have to have that slider to slowly move your camera like half millimeter at a time in closer to the subject to keep getting different points in focus.
So since we didn't really establish what infinity focus is, and some people might be confused, hold the lens still. So on your lens, you have your distance. So it's basically how far the lens is zoomed from the subject in which you're shooting. And in the case, what you can see here on the side, goes by feet, goes by meters. He's telling me to back the camera up. It's too close. But I'm like, whatever. But yeah, so if you look, it zooms in and out. So infinity essentially just kind of means everything should, in theory, be in focus. We're not going to go too in-depth with that, but that's not quite true. But anyhow, that's that for now. What else? I was going to say something else.
Yeah. Let's continue shooting some macro.
I don't remember now. He's going to take pictures. I'm going to kind of follow for the time being. Cause,
actually, he's going to start taking photos too because he
I
can
will.
use other
I just figured for the case of educational purposes, because we should have PhDs. Somebody should give us an honorary doctorate from Harvard or something for these videos. That's what I think. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm going to turn this off, I guess, for now, and then he'll take photos. I'll screw around and probably screw things up. But hey, who knows? Bye.
This is a ring flash. It attaches to the front of your lens. They work really good for macro. TJ over there has my other flash. He's just going to hold manually. He's got the transmitter on this camera and hold the flash. Because like I said, with macro, you just need a lot of light. You lose light when you add the extension tubes. If you have a macro lens, you don't need as much light as just the extension tubes. Or another way to shoot macro is you put your lens on your camera, set whatever aperture you want, hit the depth of field preview button, which on this Canon here, it's this little button right there. And then you turn your camera off with that button still held, because that'll change your lens to the certain aperture you want or need. And then you actually reverse your lens and stick the front element up to your camera, and then you go through the back of your lens to take the photo. So it's kind of just a different way to do it, which is cheaper than buying a macro lens, because Canon's got a good one. It's like their 100 millimeter. It's a 1:1 macro lens, and it's roughly $750. So
isn't that the 100L too?
Something like that, yeah.
It's an L lens. That's cheap for an L lens.
Yeah, it's an L lens. So like the macro tubes, there's 3 tubes for like 150. This flash was I think like 400. So there's different ways to shoot macro, cheaper ways, more expensive ways, depending on what you want to do. The advantage of having a macro lens is that you can actually focus to infinity. You can use the lens for a lot more things than strictly shooting macro. Whereas like with extension tubes, that's pretty much it, because your depth of field becomes so small that you can't shoot past more than like half an inch in front of your lens. So I'm just going to wander around, look at this frost here, try and get some good macro photos of it. Now, so you can see TJ here.
Doesn't know what he's doing.
Doesn't know what he's doing when the flash isn't on. There you go. Yeah.
Hell, it was on.
So you can see he's got his 70 to 200 millimeter. He's zoomed out to 200 millimeters. Yep.
Zoomed into 200.
And you can see how close he has to get to the subject. He's got all 3 extension tubes on. And so it allows you to really focus on the small stuff. So hopefully the flash will go off and work like it's supposed to. Yep. So it's just a way to be able to focus in on very small things. If the weather's terrible, you can do macro just around your house. You'd be amazed what you can find that works with macro. It's about anything, because you get so close it doesn't even look like what it's supposed to. So it's just a lot of fun. We pulled off on the side of the road, mostly so TJ over there could use the toilet. But I noticed, you can see, you got like the dead trees, you got like that red band up in there, you got the fog up in there. So that looks like a pretty nice photo. So I got the camera out, got the 70 to 200 on, zoomed in all the way into 200 millimeters. Just shooting and see what I can come up with. And that's the thing, you just get out and shoot it. You know, don't wait for the spectacular view or this or that. Like, you'd be amazed what you could find when you just pull off the side of the road and you just come up with stuff. And if you don't, it doesn't matter. You know, at least you're out practicing, getting the shots done, and getting what you need to do.
Better than sitting in the house.
That's right. Anything else?
I need wet wipes.
He needs wet wipes. They're on the dashboard. I always keep wet wipes just because, you know, when you're trucking around with a bunch of kids like this, you got to deal with that.
Well, hello there again. We've stopped on the side of the road again. Beep. Locked the car. Randy said he was in Peru. I don't think he even knows where Peru is on a map. He doesn't even know what Peru means.
So I got my awesome hat.
His grandma made that hat.
See?
Look at that. That's a grandma hat.
I'm
sure she's a nice lady. Anyhow, we found a cool forest, which I guess we've kind of been in those all day, but it's a really cool green mossy covered forest, as you can see. Look. But behind it there's a river and there's a lot of frost, so we're going to try and do what's called focus stacking and capture the two meshing landscapes, if you will. So, actually, this is really pretty. I'm going to turn this around. Look at that. We're going to walk. I'm going to walk and talk. You guys can take in the view just like I am, because I think it is actually really pretty. I think I already said that. See, I can cheat when I write my blog entries because I just have the thesaurus open and I can find other words. So when I think of the same word again, I don't repeat. There you go. Blogging. Cheating 101. But anyhow, Randall is down here. He must have found something he likes. I'm assuming it's that poop bag on the tree there. I don't know how well you guys can see that. I'm guessing he's going to macro image that thing. What are you doing, Randy?
I am going to shoot all the frosty trees right in front of me with the 70 to 200 millimeter lens on.
I hope you guys heard that. There's ducks.
Something going on there.
It is migration season for...
Hopefully we're outside. so it doesn't affect me too much. But you can see the frosty trees.
Frosty trees.
70 to 200 millimeter lens, and get some shots.
Why don't you go in there, Randy?
Because it scares me, and I'd fall in the river like I did last weekend.
Give me the car keys before you do that. So anyhow, are you doing focus stacking? Did you just say that?
I don't know if I'm going to focus stack. I don't know.
He doesn't know what he's going to do. I think we will try and do some focus stacking while we're in here, so we can actually give you guys another little photography tip 101, focus stacking, because it's a really handy thing to know how to do. Not always necessary, but when you do decide to use it, very helpful. Alright, goodbye for now.
So TJ mentioned focus stacking. So I will show you how you focus stack. So right now, see on my screen here, I'm focused in on this little tree, the very front thing, right? You notice the background is all out of focus. So I'll do is I'll take the shot. It's on a little 5-second delay to make sure this tripod goes completely still. Okay, took the shot. Now you can see I move my focus ring a little bit. Take a shot. And you just repeat this process until you have everything in focus. With the focus. You can see how everything is turning red. That's what Sony has. It's called focus peaking, and that's what's in focus.
Fuji does
for the
it
shot.
too.
Oh, Fuji does it too. So I'm just taking a series of shots, just kind of compressing the forest here. Then I'll turn it, and each time more and more it's getting in focus. So that is what focus stacking is. And then in Photoshop, or I have a program called Helicon Focus. Then I use that, and it puts all the focus points together. And it's actually pretty simple. In Photoshop, it's like 3 or 4 clicks and you're done. And Helicon Focus, kind of the same thing. You just import all the photos in and just click the go button, and it just does it automatically. So it's a pretty cool thing. Something you couldn't do with film, and that way you can have, you know, your shot in focus from front to back, just by putting a couple of photos together. So it's one thing I try and do when I focus stack is I'll take a photo, and for the very first one I'll put my hand in front of the lens. And what that does, so now I have a black photo, and then I do my focus stack, and I take another photo of my hand. That way I know in between the dark photos, those are the photos I need to focus stack. That way you don't get kind of confused. Sorry, I guess I'm moving and he's trying to take a photo of me. That way when you don't get confused when you're trying to put them together, which ones are supposed to be stacked and which ones aren't. So just a little helpful tip. So once again, we came to the end of Photo Friday.
The end of Photo Friday.
The end. What did we go over? Macro. Something else.
Focus stacking.
Focus stacking. Yeah, so make sure you use both of those, especially the focus stacking. I think that was it. Went up Mountain Loop Highway, got some shots up here. Some good creeks, some good frosty trees, some good foggy trees, a little bit of everything.
A pretty little roadside waterfall.
Pretty little roadside waterfall.
A lot of color. Very clear water.
Yeah, it's very clear water. So other than that,
mountain freshness.
Don't forget, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button.
Donate to our cause.
Donate to our cause. We can always use more money.
Well,
help pay for gas and
yeah.
And what else do we need? Like us on Facebook and Instagram at RandyBot Photography, and
well, mine's TJ Simon Photography and TJ Simon, all spelled out TEEJAY Simon.
Yes,
that's Instagram.
So follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I think that's about it. So here are a few photos from that we took to this today.
Till to this day.
Till to this day.
English isn't his first language.
No,
he's from Montana.
No, I'm from Montana. It's redneck's my first language.
Get her done, Peter.
Anyway, till next time. See you later.
Bye.